So before I begin today's show, I have a quick question which is totally and completely unrelated to the topic I'm talking about. All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Welcome to another episode on this channel, the Save Money and More with Jan channel. As always, I hope you're doing well while you're eating your morning breakfast or listening to me later on, maybe on the subway or just walking around, just chilling out later on during the day, or even a few weeks after I record this and list it. I want to talk to you today about a sentence that I read from a T-shirt. I have no idea where this person got this T-shirt. Maybe she had it personally made. Maybe it's only a one of a kind. But I love what I read. Before I get into that, I have a question. Who is sick and fed up with the weather lately? We are about to enter another heat wave over here on the in the Northeast area, and it could be tiring. It could be draining. It really could. You have to always be prepared for any possibility, which is always wise to be prepared for anything throughout the whole year. But let's be honest, the electrical grids are more, in my opinion, more, what's the word I'm looking for? Vulnerable during the extreme weather days. And uh, it's interesting. A friend of mine actually worked for an agency that's actually closing down today, closing shop today because of the anticipated bad, very too much heat weather. There's heat and there's heat, and today I hear it's going to be a lot of heat. It's not so much the heat, it's the humidity. I don't know about you, but I welcome the following three words: Canadian air mass. To me, when I hear those three words at the end of the summer and the beginning of September, perhaps middle especially, those words are beautiful. They are. I love early fall weather. So I hang in there. Hang in there. Let's talk about just that. This is actually a good lead in that I didn't even really think about. I want to talk to you about a sentence that I read on a t shirt. T shirts can have very interesting sentences on them, or phrases. Take a look at them sometimes. Like sometimes we just look at the color or, whatever. And there may be something written on someone's t-shirt that really is an amazing message. So here's the sentence that in my honest is really wonderful. Quote, end of quote. I wrote it down on paper when I saw it. Grow, Grow, okay, grow through what you go through. Wow wow Let me repeat that. Grow through what you go through. Wow. 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 We go through Geo. We go through lots and lots of things in our lives. Lots and lots of things. We don't even realize it in the course of a day. Example, we may get a phone call that could be fantastic, or we may get a phone call that's totally less than fantastic. In fact, utterly not so great. Or we hear some, negative information on the news. What's new about that? But some negativity is a little worse than the other negativity, if you see where I'm going with this, right? Or we thought we made it to a certain goal, and then only to find out that we fell short of that certain goal, and we walk away feeling disappointed. So let's get into that today. In order to grow through what you go through, we go through things, Geo, all the time. We may go through a lot of things in a 24-hour period and not even realize it. Why do I say 24 instead of, let's say, about 18? Because we get at least 6 hours sleep. Well, let's just call it that, right? Okay. But even that is a challenge. Some people do not get proper rest. Some people are awoken at night by strange noises outside, or maybe a mosquito decided to wreak havoc on your arm or on your leg when you were asleep, and you're waking up to scratching your arm, saying, "What's going on here?" And then that disturbs you. So you see where I'm going with this? We go through lots of things, good things, bad things, or our recipe came out absolutely perfectly on a positive note. That's a nice thing to go through. Or somebody compliments you out of absolutely nowhere, especially at a moment in time that you may mentally really need to hear those positive energy kind of words. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we do go through a lot of things. All right. But how do we grow through things? There are some situations that can make us grow, GROW things. For example, serious stuff here, serious stuff like a layoff, unexpected job loss. That's a tough thing, especially when everything seems hunky dory on your job. There are situations, especially lately, I'm hearing a lot of stories where people are suddenly laid off. There's no visible sign, or the worker's too busy working to have paid any attention to it. And then suddenly they find themselves without a job. That is devastating. And if your job is one of your main sources of income, and then all of a sudden the job went bye bye, that is financially traumatic, not to mention emotionally traumatic. Okay, so any sort of financial unexpected changes could be really, really tough, unless it's of course a positive change where you're getting stuff. That's okay when you're in, financials improve. But we're talking about growing through what we go through. Okay. Or we can make mistakes in budgeting. Just a simple math error could screw up the whole month. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, we're human, we're not robots, okay? So sometimes we don't feel like going to the calculator and we calculate things on paper, and it's totally possible for any human being to make a mathematical error. I'm just saying, and that may wreak havoc on your budget, the result of your budget. Or people not believing, for example, in your personal ability to manage cash properly, like listening to negative speak. Some people have no problem being very vocal about other people's failures, other people's mistakes, which, by the way, I think is so rude. It is one thing to be helpfully critical about something in a kind, gentle manner. A person could get the same point across without being rude, disrespectful, or hurtful. Like hurtful words. Words are powerful containers, and we must never ever forget that. In my opinion, we really need to be a little kinder and less abrupt. And I know everybody's in a mad rush to do everything so fast, 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 so fast that they don't realize how they put a phrase or a sentence onto someone else. You walk away from it and continue on your day. And the person that heard that comment may live with that in their head for an entire day or even more than that. Okay. So I think all of us can grow from or grow through what you go through. And now, how many people out there, and you don't have to tell me unless you feel like it, how many people listening have actually survived a layoff situation? Okay. I bet there are a whole lot of people at one time in their life, including myself. You actually do grow from GROW, from the stuff that you went through. So to grow through what you go through, for example, a good lesson learned for anybody that has been through one of those is making darn well sure you are prepared for the possibility that that could happen any time on any future job. I don't care if you think it's in the bag. I don't care if you think you're tight friends with the boss and their family. The bottom line are their numbers. Okay, businesses are a numbers game. We must never forget that. Businesses' bottom lines rely on the numbers. If the numbers aren't matching up, then the people in charge of that business are going to do things that may cut down on expenses, which may include laying off employees. And I don't care how nicey nice you get along with the boss and send Christmas gifts and all that stuff. Does not matter. From learning from the past experience of being laid off, always be ready for anything in that arena, especially, is a big takeaway that I took away. And I was really glad that with certain things, I was much more ready than other people, than with other certain things. So if we can grow through what we go through, it is so worth it. Let's talk about stockpiling for a brief second or two here. I mean, I could have a stockpile Friday. I could have a grocery reminder about spending a few bucks every single time into a grocery haul till I am blue in the face. I could do that till I'm blue in the face. I can remind people all the time it does not take a lot of money to begin and to continue a grocery stockpile, literally till I'm blue in the face. And it makes not a difference to a lot of people until they are in a situation where they're like, huh? For example, such as the unexpected layoff, right? Isn't it great to know that if you at least are like X number of months ahead in the grocery arena and you're okay, the world is not going to fall apart until you find your next job. And it's not so simple finding the next job. And it's not so guaranteed. No job is a guarantee. No job. Let's write that down ahead. Let it sink in. No job is a guarantee. But what is a guarantee is you're going to get bills every single month. That's a guarantee. I don't care what anybody says. Getting bills every month, financial obligations are a must every month. And even if you're in a situation where, well, I don't pay a utility bill, you're paying for something else, right? Got to eat, got to put food in your mouth, right? Paying for that, aren't you? Okay. So there will always be something to pay for. So, as we go along in life, why don't we make every single thing that happens to us, whether it's a positive situation or any significant thing that has happened to us, whether it's positive or negative, and turn it into a growing moment. Yes, all of us can definitely grow through what we go through. We just have to want to.